Happy Wednesday, fifth graders. Today's lesson is for you to read pages 138, 139, 140, and 141. So those of you that might struggle a little bit with that, I'm going to kind of read through the book and, excuse me, we can highlight some of the important things together. Lesson 3 is how do ecosystems change? And the focus is right up here. They want you to know how environments change and that some animals and plants can survive these changes. Some important words to know are the words environment and competition. So let's go over to fun fact in my planet diary. The first sign the fishermen saw was smoke rising from the ocean along the southern coast of Iceland. Was it a ship on fire? No, it was Surtsey, a volcanic island being born on November 15, 1963. At first, Surtsey was bare, but soon life began to colonize the new land. Insects arrived early, mosses, lichens, and then more complex plants established themselves. Birds nestled on the island, and migrating birds stopped there. Seals basked on its shores. The island is now a nature reserve and has been named a World Heritage Site. Surtsey covers an area of about 3 square kilometers. So this sign of a pencil wants you to write something. It wants you to think about what you read. It wants you to answer the question, how might plants have arrived on Surtsey? So you can pause the video and answer that question. Environmental changes. All organisms live in particular environments where their needs are met. An environment is all of the conditions surrounding an organism. So I am going to put is all of the conditions surrounding an organism. That's an environment. Remember, we don't use everything. If you use it, then it's considered part of your habitat. Environments may be hot or cold and on land or in water. Environments change naturally as resources change. For example, a population of millipedes lives in an environment with dead plant matter. As the population grows, it needs more food, water, and living space. As these resources decrease, each millipede will have less food, water, and space. Some millipedes will die or move away. More resources will be available for the remaining millipedes. The population will grow and the cycle will start again. Organisms must change to take advantage of new opportunities and protect themselves from new dangers in a changed environment. So you have 2 questions to answer on this page. Number 1, explain. Puddles like this may be home to frogs, fish, worms, or shrimp. Which of these animals might be able to survive after the puddle is dry, and then why? So there'd be 2 parts to this question. You can pause and answer. Number 2, this is a cause and effect. Let me get these off of here. A cause and effect question. Use this graphic organizer to list a cause and 1 effect from the text. So you can pause the tape and answer that or go back after we're done reading all of it. So there are 2 types of changes. There are slow changes and fast changes. Sometimes environments change very slowly. For example, the climate in a region may become drier and drier over thousands of years. So we have climate change. This has happened in the Sahara, which has had both wet and dry periods in the past. Think about Ohio used to be actually a big swamp, which is why we have lots of coal in Ohio. Seasons can change slowly every year. This gives animals time to grow their winter fur, and plants have time to grow new leaves for the summer. Maybe you have a pet at home that might shed at certain times of the year. The continents also change their position over millions of years. For example, Antarctica used to be much closer to the equator and much warmer. And rocks are slowly broken down by weather and by plants and animals, and they become part of the soil. Now, I'm not going to highlight weather here because I think fifth graders might confuse that with the weather that we experience daily. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight rocks are slowly broken down in sixth grade, and I think you might have gotten a chance to read it in fourth grade, this process called weathering and erosion. There are also fast changes, and I'm going to go ahead and highlight those, just so if I look at slow changes, I can see the types, and here's fast changes. Hurricanes and floods and fires, along with volcanic eruptions and earthquakes, are natural events that can change the environment. A hurricane's strong winds rip up trees and they flatten plants. Heavy rains and huge waves can flood a coastal community. When lightning strikes a tree, it can start a forest fire that burns almost everything in its path. These rapid changes may force species to leave the area because the resources they need are no longer available. I believe man can also cause a fire, so that it's not just a natural event, I guess. That could be a man-made event in the case of wars, or if a bulldozer comes in and digs up everything. Number 3, it wants you to underline 2 examples of slow environmental change and circle the 2 examples of fast changes. So I kind of highlighted those for you. If we didn't highlight them, you can see where the book kind of sets it up. They must want you to know examples. This is the at-home lab I assigned earlier. And then it also, you can pause the tape to give an example of what is another type of fast environmental change maybe that you can think of. In the last page, we see changes can be caused by organisms, and changes can also be caused by humans. Organisms themselves may alter their environment as they feed, grow, and build their homes. For example, locusts are insects that travel in large groups called swarms. The members of these large swarms can quickly eat all of the plants in large fields and destroy farm crops. After locusts pass through an area that was green and full of plants, it will look dead and bare. Plants also cause changes. In fact, plants affect the quality of the air for the entire planet. They absorb carbon dioxide from the air and release oxygen back into the atmosphere. When you think about Hubbard, you might remember those little, they look like little purplish black beetles. They're Japanese beetles. So a lot of people might hang those bags or spread some chemicals on their plants to try to save them. You can pause the tape and answer question number 5. It helps you think about what we've just read. What kind of animal might benefit from a locust swarm? Okay, and then the last section is changes caused by humans. Humans are one of the most important causes of environmental change. Remember, I said usually when you're reading and there's something that says something is the biggest or the first or the most damaging, and so humans are one of the most important causes of environmental change. Now, you might think that's bad, but let's go on and see what it says about humans. We change the land to plant crops and to build dams to get energy, fish to get food, and we clear forests to get construction materials to build shelters. We change the environment when we build buildings and roads and when we burn fuel. There are many ways in which we can reduce the impact of human activity on the environment. For example, tunnels have been built in some places with busy traffic so that animals can cross from one side of the road to the other without getting hit by cars. If you watch the Bill Nye video on biodiversity, he addresses this, that changing the land to plant crops isn't bad, we just need a balance. So you can pause the tape to answer number 6. Classify, meaning to look at the picture of the farm on this page and what parts of this environment probably were not there before people arrived. So I hope you have a nice Wednesday. When you come back Thursday and Friday, I might take a look at your books to see that if you did in fact answer this. Thank you.